Barcelona versus Real Sociedad. And guys, Barcelona must win this game. Barca are currently top of La Liga, but guys, only just by head-to-head and also goal difference over Real Madrid. Guys, Barcelona, we take on Real Sociedad, and this is the game that we're going to be previewing. But guys, listen, Real Sociedad, they are not no joke. This is not no pushover. This team has beaten us this season 1-0 at third place at the Anoeta. Also, I remember in the Xavi era, in the Xavi tenure, Real Sociedad, they gave us problems, man. A lot of draws were in there. And guys, Barcelona, Real Sociedad, let's get straight into it. But before doing so, like, comment, and subscribe. Guys, we're so close to 700 subs. But guys, let's get straight into it because, hey, the game is going to be played at 4:15 p.m. Barcelona local time, which means it is going to be an earlier kickoff than usual. And Barca this season under Flick have not done too well in the early kickoff. I remember the game against Las Palmas way early in the season, and also the game against Deportivo Alaves where we barely won 1-0 due to a Lewandowski goal. So guys, hopefully it's going to be a shift. Barcelona in an earlier kickoff. Can they get the job done? I think that they can, but the players, they have to show up. But guys, the next thing I want to talk about is that Barcelona, we should win this game, and we're going to get straight into it. Why? Because, number one, we do have a better team. Hansi Flick, he does have Rafinha, a Lamine Yamal, a Lewandowski, and for me, Hansi Flick, man, you have to start your strongest lineup, in my opinion. I don't think there's much room for error. Guys, there's only 14 games, I believe, left in this La Liga season. There is not much room for error. Barcelona, Real Madrid, Atletico Madrid, in my opinion, the team that wins La Liga, it's obvious. It's going to be the team that hits form, the best form and most recent. I feel like that right now, if Barcelona can go on one of those streaks, 5-6 wins in a row, I think they have a great chance to win La Liga. But guys, remember, Hansi Flick, I think he should start his best players. I know we got Benfica in a couple of days, but still, start your best players, start strong, win 2-3-0, and then you can sub out these guys. Because, yes, the Benfica game is very important, but, guys, one game at a time is what I would say the message should be. And the next thing I want to talk about, guys, is that, man, that Atletico game, we were up 4-2. How will the boys respond? How will Dani Olmo, guys like Pedri that played so well, Lamine Yamal, these guys who got subbed off, and in general, players that also got subbed in, like Gavi, players that got subbed in like Eric Garcia. How are they going to be mentally? How are they going to be? I feel like the Hansi Flick, the mentality, to bounce back from, it felt like a defeat, but it was a 4-4 draw, and Hansi Flick, how is he going to get these guys ready to play? I think that the boys will be fine. It wasn't season ending. We still have a second leg to play for, but still, it was kind of a sad ending for such a great comeback. So I want to see how we start this game, and I want to see how Hansi Flick and the boys respond. How are we going to start this game? Are we going to grab an early goal? How's that first half performance? I am actually very interested to see what we're going to do. But guys, the next thing I want to talk about is Real Sociedad, because guys, they just lost against Real Madrid in the Cup, the round one. They're also in the semifinals of the Copa del Rey, and also their manager. They have been having a mediocre season. I think they've scored 23 goals and they have conceded 23 goals. So they're legitimately the definition of average. But guys, Real Sociedad, in my opinion, it is a team that you cannot be losing against because, yes, you could say they're an average team and they're away from home. But guys, if I'm reading to you guys who is suspended and out for this game, they have Becker, one of their attackers that comes off the bench. Typically, he's out with the red card. They also have their center back. I think Aguerd is how you pronounce it. That guy, he's also out. I think he's a Moroccan international. He's one of their starters. He is out. Kubo with the red card. These suspensions, I believe it's also due to yellows. I don't actually think it's straight reds. But all three of these guys are suspended due to yellow cards or red cards or whatever the reason may be. They also got Odriozola, who's doubtful. Then they also got Pacheco, I think I said his name correctly. He's out for the game also. So I think that this team, they've also lost 3 out of their last 5. There is no reason. You're not playing a hot Real Sociedad. You're playing a Real Sociedad that's kind of underwhelming. They have been really mediocre this season once again. And I'm expecting, yes, they beat us, but now Barcelona, make amends, beat this team, and let's move on. Let's grab all 3 points. And honestly, there's no reason to not, Hansi Flick, I've liked what he said in the presser recently. I've known when he's saying, yes, this team has a good mentality. Well, listen, now we got to show it. You know what I'm saying? We have dropped a win. In my opinion, it was an absolute win against Atletico Madrid the other day. And guys, let's make amends. Hansi Flick, I know what he's been saying in the pressure. I like what he's saying, that he likes the team's confidence and mentality. Well, I want to see it. I want to see a good first half and second half cameo. Not a horrible start like against Atletico Madrid. Not a bad ending like against Atletico Madrid. But that middle portion from minute 10 to minute 80, when we absolutely balled out, that is what I want to see. And I think this guy right here, Robert Lewandowski, with a bunch of players out, I think that he's going to be very, very important. I don't typically say this about Robert Lewandowski, but I think that, hey, their best center back, in my opinion, Aguerd, is out for the game. I think Robert Lewandowski, can you do a little bit more than just scoring goals? Can you give us that link-up play? Your first touch, can it be on? And I think, can we build up from Robert Lewandowski? I think that he's going to get a goal, but I want to see his overall game. Robert Lewandowski, can you give me one of those games? Can you roll back the clock and give me one of those games? Hansi Flick, obviously, if he's not playing well, you can sub him off for Ferran Torres. But right now, Robert Lewandowski, he came off the bench and he scored. Ferran Torres, he got the start, and man, he didn't impress. Let's be real. Just keeping it. I'm just going to be real, guys. Ferran Torres had the ultimate chance starting in a really big game, and he didn't fully take it. You know what I'm saying? He really could have got a brace, and honestly, I wish Ferran did, man. I really wish he did, but guys, ultimately, he didn't. And guys, if I was Hansi Flick, this is the lineup that I would be starting with. Robert Lewandowski would be leading the line once again. For me, Dani Olmo, I don't know why he hasn't been starting. Is it muscle issues? But Dani Olmo has come out and said that he is fully fit. So I want to see Dani Olmo in that number 10. I believe that once again, Dani Olmo is the glue. I call him the glue because that attack is just so fluid with Dani Olmo, because whenever he's not doing anything, he'll just drop deep and help, an overload in midfield. He'll help Pedri. He'll help Casado. He makes the game that much easier for Yamal and Rafinha. You know what I'm saying? So I want to see, obviously, Yamal, Rafinha. For me, I would say Casado over Frenkie de Jong. I think that in this game, Real Sociedad, they are a team that always, the second balls, the first balls, they're one of the only teams that can compete and play possession football against Barcelona in the last couple of years. So I want a runner. I want Casado in there over Frenkie de Jong. I think Frenkie de Jong, you can always, sub him in. And then the back line, in my opinion, I just don't see Ronald Araujo starting. I would like him to start. I actually think it would be a great game for him to start ahead of the Champions League. It's going to really ramp up these big games. But let's be real. Hansi Flick, he's been starting Inigo Martinez and Cabarsi whenever he has the chance to do so for the most part. I'm also saying, obviously, Koundé and Balde as the fullbacks and Szczesny in goal, because Szczesny will start, guys. He is Hansi Flick's number one. And, guys, the next thing I want to talk about is Hansi Flick. If it's going wrong, Ferran Torres is on the bench. And Ferran, that is his best role, off the bench scoring goals. And there's nothing wrong with that. Being a super sub is very important. This season, Ferran off the bench has been scoring so many times. You know what I'm saying? I remember so many games, 15 minutes only, and Ferran scores. Frenkie de Jong, I'm saying Casado should start, but Frenkie de Jong, play him if we need him, if we need more control in the midfield. If Real Sociedad sacrificed a lot of possession and we can't do anything with it, I want to see Frenkie de Jong. And I feel like that Frenkie against tired legs is going to be a lot more better. I also want to say Fermin Lopez. I could see him starting, but I would like to see Dani Olmo. If Fermin starts, I won't get too mad. I will not. He's a tenacious player. I think he might fit this game, actually. And for that reason, I would say I would sub in Fermin Lopez regardless of how the game's going. Probably 60, 70 minutes in. Dani Olmo, I just don't know what's wrong with him. I hope he's fit, but he just doesn't start games. He's been fit for a couple weeks now, and he's just not starting. I don't know why. But, guys, let me say this. Barcelona, they got a really big game against Benfica. Yes, I know Benfica. That team that Rafinha scored that late winner against. And guys, Barcelona, ideally against Real Sociedad, you want to end it as quick as possible, because this Benfica game, we have very little rest for. It is a game I think we're only going to have 2 days rest for. So Barcelona, Hansi Flick, please put out the best lineup. And guys, hopefully no injuries. And Barcelona, I'm expecting a win against Real Sociedad. I'm going to say 3-1 Barcelona. But against Benfica, that game, you have to think ahead of time. And Hansi Flick, start your best players, win 2-3-0, and then sub on your bench. That's what I would do if I'm Hansi Flick. But guys, let me know down below. What would you guys do if you're Hansi Flick? What would be your lineup? What is your score prediction? Let me know down below. But guys, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know down below what you're thinking.